Hello, internet world. This is Mark with Ninja Training TV, and I had an awesome experience happen yesterday. One of my students showed up from Brazil here in California and surprised me, and so I was like, "Oh, we got to train. Let's do this." And so he came over today, and we're going to throw some shuriken because I don't get to throw shuriken all the time. And do you get to throw shuriken much?
No, not much.
Not much. Okay, so this is perfect for me to kind of go through how I would teach a beginner how to start to throw shuriken. So we'll play with this, and hopefully you guys will have fun and you'll learn some good tips on how to do different types of shuriken throws. I have had really been blessed with some good fortune to train with some different Shuriken Jitsu masters in Japan, and it's really cool. Danny Fletcher was one of the guys in the Bujinkan who's now passed, but he introduced me to Meifuki Kajinru. Shuriken Jitsu master, and it's been fun to go train with those guys as well as guys in the Bujinkan, and we have all been, doing similar things, but how they hold grips and call things is a little different, and it's good to cross train. And so let's go into the fun stuff. Let's start throwing shuriken. So we're going to be throwing shuriken today. These are bar stock shuriken. The ends of these are tapered really nicely. If you have targets that are too hard, you will bend the tips on, even though these are fire hardened tips. So what I like to do is if I go over here to my mats that I'm having, I've got mechanic mats that I get. You can get these at a toy store as well, but I go to a car store because they're even cheaper there. I stack my mats 3 deep, and then I have washers and screws that I put in on all the far corners of these just to hold them in place. When you're throwing for a safety thing, of course, make sure nobody else is up by the target, and they do bounce off a lot, especially when you're working with beginners. But one of the other things is once you have a bunch of these in the target, and then maybe you'll have a couple on the ground, always get the ones off the target first because some of them are in there loose and they'll fall on your feet or your head. And we've had it happen before to certain people. Me. And it's archery 101 too. You pull your arrows out of the target first. So I like, since we only have a few screws and washers holding these in place, I put my other hand on the target to retrieve these then and get those up first. Okay, so let's go through the stance of what we're going to do basics. So the basics are put the bow shuriken in the middle of your hand and then drop it out to your first two fingers, your middle finger and your pointer finger, and you just hold it with your thumb. So we're holding it with this simple grip here. As I throw towards the target, I'm going to keep my wrist pulled back. And it's really uncomfortable at first and doesn't feel natural, but later on, I'll show you some throws that it naturally occurs in that you don't have to concentrate holding your wrist back then. So as I have this up in a throwing position, I like to target with my other hand and kind of give that aim, and then I pull that back and I start to like release this shuriken. Now, a lot of people, when they throw, a common mistake is they'll push their wrist forward, and this will give this rotation. You can use rotation in throws. It's really good for knife throwing and tomahawks and other things. But in Shuriken Jitsu, their like creme de la creme is to not have any of the shurikens tumble or turn over from a certain distance. And that certain distance is about a tatami mat to a tatami mat and a half. You can get it up to like 2 to 3 tatami mats and not have it turn, but after that, that starts to turn no matter what, just because of the length, even if you're really, really good at the brush stroke. So what the brush stroke is, once I have this hold, as I'm coming forward and having my wrist pulled back, you'll feel this shuriken start to literally brush stroke out of the top of your fingers. And if I project this straight and nice, it's going to travel through time and space just kind of vertically for a long time, and then it starts to fall forward and it finally will hit into the target. All right, well, hope you guys enjoyed this. This is Mark with Ninja Training TV. Hope you're having a great weekend. Think of something that you're grateful for and share it with somebody today. All right, keep training.